I cannot wait. So let's kick it off with the AFC North. So we have the Baltimore Ravens. We're going alphabetical order here for this. So the Baltimore Ravens, Dalton, who is their perfect fit in this 2024 draft?
So I keep thinking about the fact, I think it's not been said enough that the Ravens lost 3 offensive line starters. And I think that needs to be a priority in this draft. And I'm looking somewhere between rounds 3 and 4. I'm going straight down to the FCS champion South Dakota State with this first pick. Mason McCormick, the guard out of South Dakota State. I think he's the premier pulling guard in this draft. He's so aggressive. He's just nasty. He's just that guy who just brings that nasty element to your offensive line. Solid pass blocker, too, on that level. The Ravens pull their linemen on 42% of their run plays, one of the highest rates in the league. Look, when I watched him, he reminded me exactly of the guy, their starting left guard that just left to the Jets, John Simpson. Mm-hmm. He might not be the highest graded guy in the league. He's a little high cut, but he's incredibly aggressive, and he just brings that element in a gap scheme that you want in your offense. I think Mason McCormick from South Dakota State's a perfect fit. I think at left guard, it's possible that he starts immediately, even if he's selected in the 3rd or 4th round.
Absolutely. I think he's probably going to end up being a 4th, maybe even 5th. You look at the consensus board right now, I believe he's 142 on the consensus board, and that's basically like a 4th or 5th round pick, which I don't agree with, and I think Trevor Sikkema very much disagrees with that too. Our lead draft analyst, I think he has him as a 3rd round prospect, which I kind of do see that. But yeah, there's a chance he falls to like the 5th round. So we'll be probably talking about him when he does do that, but and we'll make sure to bring him up and see where he goes. Also, another elite Twitter highlight video. Some guy put this together of Mason McCormick. It's like this rock song behind him, and he's just murdering dudes in the FCS. It is an elite video. Go find it on Twitter if you haven't already. It convinced me that Mason McCormick is going to be a stud in the NFL. It was that good of a video. But going over to the Cincinnati Bengals here. So I'm not going to do this one, Dawn, and we'd be remiss if we don't let our producer Eli take over for his favorite team, Cincinnati Bengals. So Eli, who are you hoping for the Cincinnati Bengals in the 2024 NFL Draft?
So I would say hope. I still don't think it's going to happen. I would love to see him fall down the draft boards, but I have Talise Fuaga from Oregon State. Bengals need a right tackle. I mean, they still have Trent Brown, but they did not pay him a ton of money, so I don't think it is a long-term fit or one that they think he might not even play all the games. I mean, when you look at Trent Brown's career, he's normally missed about 6 or 7 games a year on average. I think the fit is just perfect. He's a right tackle, and my personal gripe with the Bengals over the past 5 or 6 years has been they don't get athletes on the offensive line. When you look at Fuaga's RAS score, he was a 9.71, which is just absolutely insane. And I think that's the one thing the Bengals need to get better at the offensive line. For a while, it was just getting back to average, but now you need to get guys that are elite, and I think he's a guy who can progress. He's obviously a better run blocker than a pass blocker at this point, but with those kind of tools, I think he can really adapt and mold into a guy who could be a Pro Bowl right tackle for the near future.
That would be awesome. I'm kind of upset you didn't go Johnny Newton there, Eli.
He was my second pick.
Okay,
it was him or Tavondre Sweat was going to be my later pull for just a really good fit after the departure of DJ Reader. But Fuaga was there for me, so I had to take him.
Yeah, that makes sense. We're gonna repeat names a couple times here, so now we're gonna go a different prospect each time. I think Newton's Fuaga might be a better fit for the Bengals, but Newton's a better fit for Cincinnati to get him in the PFF studio all the time.
Agreed.
I think that's the best way to put it. Is that Newton's the best fit for Cincinnati, Fuaga's a better fit for the Bengals.
100%.
I think Fuaga, that's a great pick, man. Obviously, best run blocker in the draft, probably. And also, I think he's a better pass protector than he's given credit for. I think he's like 85th percentile in terms of true pass set grade, which is crazy. So he's really good as a pass blocker. So Dalton, you're up again here with the Cleveland Browns. Who are you going to go with for Cleveland here?
So there's 2 things that stick out to me with the Browns last season that where they graded really low. One was receiving grade, and the other was run defense grade. So they traded for Jerry Jeudy, trying to stack up the receiving core. I'm going on the defensive side, and I think a realistic target for me, they're not picking till 54th overall in the 2nd round. I think Junior Colson from Michigan makes a lot of sense. Browns linebackers were 27th in run defense grade last year. They signed Jordan Hicks as a fit in their defense, but that's not really a long-term fit. I believe he's 32 years old. I like Owusu Koromoa, but more so in coverage than in the run game. I think Junior Colson is arguably the most fundamentally sound run-stopping linebacker in this draft, and I think he would add just a quiet, fundamentally sound element that they're missing. I think within a year or two, he would be the starting middle linebacker in Cleveland.
Yeah, I think that's a good call. I love JOK as well, but I think Colson will bring a different element to linebacking course. I think that's a great call there. All right, I'm up with my team here, the Pittsburgh Steelers. This one's kind of a reach because I don't know if he's actually going to be there, but if it's a perfect fit and what I'm hoping for on draft night, this is exactly what I'm hoping for. It's actually the pick that we made in our all-eligible mock draft as well, if you want to go check it out, our last video. I'm going Olu Fashanu here, the offensive tackle from Penn State, who's one of the best pass protectors in this draft, and Pittsburgh needs that, man. Last year, they were second to last in terms of pass protection grade. I believe they're outside of the top 20 in the last 4 seasons in overall grade at offensive tackle. You took Broderick Jones in the first round last year. He's your starting right tackle. You take Olu Fashanu this year, will be your starting left tackle. That would give a future tackle duo to really get excited about in a position where Pittsburgh's really struggled in each of the last 4 years now. They've really struggled at offensive tackle. I think Olu Fashanu, again, I think he's most likely going to be a top 15 pick, and Pittsburgh's at number 20. But I've seen some mocks where Olu Fashanu does drop a little bit. So maybe they trade up a little bit to get him, or another guy like J.C. Latham I'd be okay with as well in the first round. But Olu Fashanu is really my home run dream scenario there for the Steelers. And I think there is a slight chance he's available there, but probably not based off the teams that are in front of them right now.